it's very likely that people are going to misrepresent my ideas. But just to be sure, the Toronto Police and the federal RCMP are propping up white supremacy in this country, meaning they're trying to bring us into extinction. They're helping the United States just to absolutely destroy the rights and, just the freedoms of people of color in this country, right? They're allowing us to go missing, murdered, be sex assaulted. These criminal cops and their criminal children get to commit crime with impunity, right? But if you had to ask me, yes, I am for ethical white racism. The level of racism is not going to stop for people of color, and therefore it's tit for tat program, right? White people are never going to stop being a problem, being disingenuous, and allowing for us to go missing, and murdered, unless there is an intolerable amount of racism for white people, because they need to know what it's like. They absolutely need to be challenged, and most of them need to be ejected from power because they're useless, incompetent, stupid, evil, and racist. And it's absolutely true. And if you ask these white people, they're going to smirk, snicker, and then they're going to get real mad about it. But fuck them. The first tenet of ethical white racism is do not give a fuck about what these white people say. Number one, right? They don't care about our voice, they don't care about our existence, then it doesn't matter what we say, in what order, or at what time. They're always going to try and demonize us, so it's tit for tat program. We're not going to listen to you, that's the strategy. Tenet number one, do not listen to what white people have to say. They're fucking disingenuous, psychopathic, and narcissistic. Tenet number two, because it's ethical white racism, we're going to tell white people that they can love anyone who they choose. They can marry anyone who they choose. The problem being, though, is that that doesn't mean we'll respect you. We're still going to fight against you and try and get you overthrown from your positions of corporate and government control. Right? It's not about the success of the country. These white people are sabotaging the success of the country by installing shittier and shittier capitalism that enslaves us all. And now there's going to be a new techno slavery, a technocracy. So the best point result is, though, although white people can love whoever they want, we're not going to respect them for, their decisions. And we're not going to respect people of color if they marry into white families, right? It's about the survival of people of color globally. Asian, Black, African, Caribbean, Native Aboriginal, right? Latino, anyone, Arabic, Muslim, anyone other than white. We need to protect our survival, and white people are counter to our survival, right? You've shown yourself to be disingenuous at every step. So look, the best result is to tell white women, right? Hey, don't have children. That would be the best result. Men are going to do what they're going to do. We're never going to convince them. But white women, I think you are at odds with white men who are overwhelmingly conservative. I think white women know that, okay, you want to advocate for, your bodily rights, the control over your womb. Well, here's the thing. In the theater of the absurd, right, any violence can be subjected against you, right? But these white people are so evil. Do you think they're going to stop at your abortion rights or your control over your body? In the theater of the absurd, we are pushing back our morality, right? Do you think other countries won't try and adopt misogyny in order to control your bodies to fight against white supremacy? Because that's what's happening. These white people are going to prop up misogyny to control your bodies to ensure that people of color and our populations dwindle and stagnate. Therefore, do you really expect that other countries are not going to install misogyny to fight white supremacy? Really think about that. But I know the vast majority of white women, who probably are more financially well off than a lot of us, you probably do have a lot more left-wing leaning views. And if you care about all these social issues, maybe it's high time that you just stop having children and you pass on the political power to the new economic class of people, the new economic class of people of color. The second best option is, look, no one is racially superior outside of white people's evil and their psychopathy and narcissism, because you have higher levels of it in this country. Sure, is China an ethno-state? Are they controlling media in China? Most likely. Do they have high levels of psychopathy over in China? Most likely. But it's the United States, the NATO alliance, and Canada. You are the ones pushing for war in the Middle East. And you know it's going to push for war in Asia. You have always been the historical problem because of your colonialism, your empires, and your slavery. Therefore, as a person of color, it doesn't matter to me what China does. I live in this country where white supremacy is the rule of law. Right? So, on a point grade system, it would be best if white people just don't have children, in general, to help give us political power. The second best option, if that's not possible, is for people of color to really only be able to, look, that's what it is. Look, this racism shit, right? We know what it is. White people think that, oh, if they put these advertisements in the streets, oh, a black woman with a white man, an Asian woman with a white man, they're thinking that we're against diversity and we're against inclusion. When these white cops, these federal cops, these RCMP, these people in government are propping up social disparity, meaning white people's entire cultural framework and economy is based on excluding people. Therefore, should we cooperate with the white powers that be? No, we should sabotage the country until these people give us justice. Right? White people and white culture is about exclusion. It's inherently anti-diversity. No, I want diversity. I want diversity of people of color globally, so we can start creating the communities that we want. And we can eject you from history and have you pay for your crimes against humanity. That's the fucking reality. White people are so fucking intolerable, it's time your culture dies with you. Sorry. You fucked up the entire planet. We're not risking the human species for your luxury and comfort. That's the irony, right? Racism, biology tells us that no person is racially superior or inferior. But what sociology will tell us, if these Asian men marry and have children with these white women, these white men will know that they had Asian fathers. They will. Subconsciously, sociology will tell us different, right? That's how we defy white culture. That's how we defy white society. When a black man marries and has a child with a white woman, these white men sociologically will know that they had black fathers. Just like they went up to us and said, hey, Tim Wilkie, your mom was Asian, your father was white. No. My father was Asian and my mom was white, and these people dangled this in front of my face for my entire life to make me feel inferior. They didn't make an assumption. They were trying to tell me I was inferior. Right? The best point case option for ethical white racism, white people do not have children. Give us political power. Right? Pay for your crimes against humanity.